Thank you, Secretary. This is an incredibly exciting day as this very large relief package is announced. And you can hear today, and you can hear through the course of the campaign in the last 3 years, the special place all of you have in the heart of this president. Farmers and ranchers feed America, and that's never been more true than we've all realized over the course of the last several months. In addition to the much-needed relief, the $16 billion that will go to farmers and ranchers to help support them through this difficult time. This Farmers to Family Food Box program is just an amazing initiative. As the Secretary mentioned, the President saw that there were those in need, those vulnerable, long lines at food banks trying to get food, and yet there was this unbelievable, beautiful American fresh produce that was going to waste. So thinking about that supply chain and ensuring with $3 billion that those who are vulnerable, that those who are in need get access to boxes like these, 20 to 25 pounds of meat, milk, all forms of dairy, and of course great fresh produce is incredibly virtuous. It's a great cycle. It helps the small distributors, it helps the small farmers who were prioritized in the bids, and of course it helps those in need. So we're very excited about this program. These boxes themselves will also be going to a mission here in DC, along with several others that we have at the White House, and we hope that these boxes will play a big role in feeding those who need it across the country. So thank you, and thank you, Secretary, for the hard work of your team in standing up this program so rapidly. We think that it will be extraordinarily successful for our small farmers and of course those in need. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, how is your administration addressing the comorbidities that Secretary Azar said are responsible for a lot of the coronavirus deaths? Obesity, hypertension, diabetes, obviously very closely connected to our food supply.
Well, I think we just want people in this country to be healthy. How does every country address it? We want our people to be healthy. We want them to be happy, and we want them to have all of the benefits that you can have, including great health care. The Republican Party has been very strong on health care, as you know, and that includes pre-existing conditions. And we have done a terrific job on health care. Then we got hit by a plague like nobody's ever seen before, outside of maybe 1917. And I think we've done an incredible job in producing ventilators and producing testing right now. You probably saw the numbers were over 12 million tests. That's 4 times more than any other country in the world. And we're talking about countries that have done a good job. Nobody's done testing like us. Plus, we have the highest quality test. So very simply, we want our people to be healthy.
With diabetes, hypertension, and obesity, specifically, that's very closely connected to the food supply. How are you addressing those specifically? Your own Health and Human Services Secretary said that's why America has so many COVID deaths.
Yeah, we want to give people great food, and that's one of the reasons we have our farmers and ranchers involved.
Could you talk a little bit more about this problem? You say it's a problem of importing cattle from other countries. What is the problem there?
Well, it's a relatively small number. Actually, I heard Sonny speaking about it yesterday. It's a very small number, but it's still cattle coming in. We have tremendous amounts of supply, cattle, and all, but generally speaking, supply. Tremendous supply. Our farmers have done an incredible job. And now the distribution is being made much better than it has been, and better. I think it'll end up being much better than it's ever been, Zippy. But I'm saying, why are we bringing in cattle? Old trade deals that were made a long time ago. Why are we bringing in cattle from other countries when we have so much ourselves? Now, in some cases, I thought your answer was very good. They've been great allies. They've been working with us for many years. Sometimes we needed the cattle, and sometimes we don't. It's a farming business. But I would say, generally speaking, unless this is a country that really has been with us, we shouldn't be taking their cattle. You know that, okay? And that's the way we're going to handle it.
Could I, on a separate subject, you sent a letter last night to the WHO.
Yeah.
What reforms do they need to do to...
Well, it says so in the letter, so I don't want to go through it. The letter is a very detailed, long letter, but basically they have to clean up their act. They have to do a better job. They have to be much more fair to other countries, including the United States, or we're not going to be involved with them anymore. We'll do it a separate way, okay?
On capital gains,
Some workers at meat packing plants say they're still concerned about their safety and that they want the government to do more to enforce and make sure that meat packing companies are keeping their workers safe with protective equipment, testing, etc. Is there any more that you plan to do to make sure and enforce that meatpacking companies are
Yeah.
keeping their workers safe?
I've been very much involved with plants since this problem came up, and what we've done, they've done a lot in terms of shields and other things, but they had a disproportionately high number of people that had the problem, and that's going away. The plants are very, very clean now. They're getting to a level where I think we had a report that they're cleaner than they've ever been. That's a good report, but I don't know exactly what that means, but they are cleaner than they've ever been. They're doing a very good job, I think, right now in terms of the Production Act and in terms of what we're enforcing. But the meatpacking plants are coming online. Many of them are online, and fewer problems are being seen. If we didn't act, we would have had a big problem. If somebody was in this position that didn't act, we would have had a big problem. But it's something that we were very much involved in because we saw it very early. Okay, did you have a question?
Yes, are you extending the ban on non-essential travel over the U.S.-Canada border?
U.S.-Canada? We're dealing with the Prime Minister's friend of ours, and we're very close to Canada. We just signed the USMCA, which is a big deal. That's with Mexico and with Canada. And we're dealing on that subject. And we're also on the southern border. As you know, the wall is going up. It's going up very rapidly. We're at 182 miles. Wherever we have the wall, it's just ended. It's just ended. People coming into our country illegally. We're stopping drug traffic. We're stopping trafficking in people, mostly women, because they traffic mostly women, unfortunately. It's a tremendously big business. It's a horrible business. And we're stopping it. There's a worldwide problem. This isn't a problem for our southern border, but our southern border is a big point. And we're stopping trafficking. The wall has had an incredible power and strength on what we're doing. I have to say that so we'll have, by pretty early next year, we'll have 450 to 500 miles of wall fully built. So we're doing a great job on the border. We have among the lowest numbers we've ever had of people coming in, and we're moving them out as soon as they come in. As they come in, we're moving them out. Literally, we're moving them out immediately. And that's never taken place before, meaning in modern history, it's never taken out, never taken
But
out.
on the question of non-essential trade, are you going to extend the ban that you put in place on non-essential trade?
For now, yes, but we're talking to Canada. As things clean up in terms of the plague, we're both going to want to do the normal. We want to get back everything. We want to get back to normal. I think we're going to have a fantastic year next year. I think we will do very well in the fourth quarter, and I think the transition quarter, which is coming up, we're starting it very shortly, the third quarter. I think you'll see some very good numbers, but you're going to see some great numbers in the fourth quarter, and you're going to end up doing a great year next year. And you can see it. Look at the states that are opening up. They're busy, and their numbers, interestingly, are going down. So they're opening up. You look at Florida and Georgia in particular, their numbers are going down. So we're very confident that we're going to have a tremendous turnaround. And we had to turn it off artificially, and now we're turning it back on. And you're going to see some tremendous numbers. Thank you very much. I'm going over to Capitol Hill. Thank you.